Okay, welcome. Welcome to our town hall, our Edmonston Mayor and Council meeting of September. We ran through August. It was a sprint through August, and now we are in September. And August we had a break, so that's why there's so many agenda items tonight, but we're going to go through them as quickly as possible. If we could all stand for Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And then we also take time just to reflect and pause for a moment of silence if you all would join me. Thank you so much. Thank you. And now it is time for public comments. All those who desire to speak, please state your name and your address. And you have 3 minutes. So it's open for public comment.
Hi, I'm Michelle Bonilla. I live on Curtin Street, and I'm not sure if it's been brought to the council's attention, but I know a few of my neighbors on Curtin Street, like closer to the park, have been petitioning for a speed bump. Um, because it's like just crazy how cars like just fly down that street right where the park is. I know that like many cars use that as like a U-turn way, and there's constantly kids out. I mean, I've walked my dog and cars have like sped by me, and I think that'd be really something neat to look into.
You're talking about where the farm is
Yes.
and the 1 to 5, is it 1 to 5 or 1 to 3-year-old playground is?
Hmm.
Okay, righty.
Mayor, we do have that on the agenda for later on,
Okay.
in the revised agenda. They did present a petition from the property owners in the 5,000 block. I believe 4 of the 7 names were on there. I don't believe the last 3 homes, maybe they weren't asked because it was probably focused on the ones next to the park, but I do have the petition as submitted.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. And we'll discuss further um, uh, in reference to that as we go down the agenda. All
Perfect.
right,
Thank
Ms. Michelle.
you. Mhm.
And because we have an additional item, I want to go back and approve the agenda for tonight because we have added that information onto the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda for tonight?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Ms. McCauley. Thank you, Ms. Serrano. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Oh,
Wonderful, thank you. Any more for public comment? All right. Miss Daria, you didn't have anything? No. All right. We will move down to our new business. If there isn't anything that the council has for old business. Nope. All right, the new business is the approval of our minutes from July 9th at the regular town council meeting. Is there a motion? Oh,
I'll make the motion.
oh, yeah.
I'll
I'll
second.
second.
It
All
doesn't
right,
matter.
the motion's been made by Ms. Serrano, second by Ms. McCauley. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Wonderful, thank you. And the next item is item B, the consideration of the introduction of an ordinance establishing garage sale requirements. Not sure, I know you were away, Chief, if you had the opportunity to make those additions.
Yes, if Rod, if you could share what he was working on this morning, Rod has the drafted up orders that he can share.
Right, I sent it out, but let me see if I can get it up on the screen.
Okay.
If Rick, if Rick has got me, can let me share.
Oh, if you said no, let me see if I can find it on mine.
Yeah, he just, I haven't got sharing authority. I sent it out. Everybody got it
Yep.
a little while ago, but if I can't get it up, I don't know.
Did you get a chance to review, Ms. McCully, the additions or I
I'm
The-
I'm good how they made the
Chief, just
Yes, sir.
yard vendor sale and a garage. They definitely made a big
difference.
distinction. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm good.
So
I'm not
just-
bitching now.
So just to make it, just some of the key points that me and Rod talked about when we drafted this up earlier was a distinction between a yard sale and a garage sale. I'm sorry, garage sale and a retail vendor sale. So if you're having a yard sale, it's free, no fee to the application. You would still apply for it either with myself or the code enforcement. He'll input that information into the system, and then you're allowed to have that yard sale. If you were planning on selling retail items, like items that you get from a wholesale, items that we can kind of tell wasn't in your home for a couple of years, and you're trying to get rid of it, at that point you'll apply for a mobile vendor's license, which all mobile vendors have to apply for in the town of Edmonston. That fee is $200. You apply for that each time you want to do a retail sale. Again, it's still that two a month, but each time you do it for a mobile, we consider, what did you say it was, for a yard vendor sale, you would pay that $200 fee and get a permit for that, but that permit will only last you for 8 hours. After the 8 hours is no longer good. We did speak about the signage. You're able to post signage for that event up to 48 hours prior to. After 24 hours of your event, those signs have to be removed off of the town's property, such as the power lines and the utility lines and poles.
And if they don't,
They'll get the fine of $100. The same thing as well if you have a vendor sale without that application being submitted to us, which is the one which we spoke about, which the yard mobile vendor sales. That will you will issue a citation for $100 as well. A civil
so that's for
citation.
everybody, whether it's a yard sale or
No, so
the
if it's a yard sale,
retail
we're,
sale.
we're not penalizing you for it. If it's because you're not paying the fee for it to get the application to begin with.
No, I mean the signage.
So the signage, yeah, that's for everybody. That's
Yeah.
for everybody. That's in our
Right.
code.
Okay.
Mayor, is Rick on? Sarah's waiting in the waiting room and can't get in, and I don't know if Rick's on. He didn't respond to my share of the
I
screen
think I see him in the
I
bottom
text
left
him as
corner.
well. So I'll check him again.
Thank you, Avery.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she gets for being late.
So it was we did a distinction between the two. So again, you would need a permit if you're trying to sell items that isn't a part of your home that you're not trying to get rid of. The purpose of the yard sale was to get rid of items that you had laying around for months, years, weeks, or whatever the case may be. If you're trying to free up space in your house, you don't need to pay for application fee. You come up, you apply, we give you the application, and you can go ahead and conduct that yard sale. Now, if you go to a wholesale or you go somewhere you get buy items in bulk and you're trying to sell those, at that point you need that mobile business license.
Okay. All right. Any questions with that? If not,
Okay.
okay,
And
Ms. McCullough.
the mobile business license is only good.
For 8
For-
hours.
Okay. So it's not like the ice cream vendor license or,
Mm-mm.
all right. I like that.
And Judge
And
Deloach
also,
may,
you cannot provide food or sell food at any of those events.
and Judge Deloach may have to clean up our language. Chief and I
Yes.
were drafting it rapidly today, but if it has any little tweaks or here or there, he'll get them included in as it presents for final next month.
And we did talk about insurance because I know when I had my business, if somebody got hurt on my property, my insurance would cover it. Are we gonna make them prove some kind of insurance, or just buyer beware? If you get hurt, you have to go after them.
I would have to let the judge answer that, just to make sure we're not crossing any lines with that one.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not responsible for that kind of, as long as they contain it on their property, that's on them. And I
Okay.
think we have things built in to the ordinance that says where they can have these events. It has to be, can't be on any sidewalks, can't be on any public space, it has to be on their property. So they would be responsible.
Hey,
Mhm.
Judge.
Thank you. Okay. If there aren't any more questions or comments, I'll accept a motion to approve the introduction of this ordinance.
I'll make the motion.
All right, Ms. Cully, thank you.
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Serrano. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Aye. All righty.
Mayor, we've
Mr.
been
Revere.
unable to reach Rick by phone or text, and so, okay, Sarah has now
She's
gone.
Yeah, he just let me in.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm
okay.
sorry, I'm
Then,
late.
good evening. The next item is the consideration of the introduction of amending the ordinance prohibiting parking a mobile home travel trailer or in driveway lots or the streets to include living in the traveler. Is it specific to a travel trailer? Isn't it any type of vehicle, right?
No,
Camper,
it was
recreational
locked
vehicle.
into campers and trailers.
The list is mobile travel trailer, camper, recreational vehicle, motorhome, and truck camper.
Oh, we probably should put a automobile in there as well. I'm sorry I didn't state that last week, but you have just as many people living in automobiles as you do as most people don't have a camper. So if we're trying to keep them from, um, camping out and living in a vehicle, I think we should add automobile in there. It still can be
Please.
approved if we just add that. Mhm.
I'll make the motion. We approve that with the addition of automobiles or any kind of vehicle.
Yep.
This could be a pickup truck.
Not even a motorcycle. No.
Well, say it could be some pickup truck.
Something, yeah.
Any vehicle.
SUV.
Boats.
Yep, boat, yep.
Yep.
Yep. What do you say, motorized? Does that categorize everything, a motorized vehicle? I
For the
guess
most part,
that's
yeah.
Judge
our
would,
attorney.
yeah, judge.
Yeah, if that is definitely a problem within the town, you can add motor vehicle to it. Okay. And that should cover it. But the intent of this, was it because it was specifically a problem with trailers?
Yes,
One.
Okay.
on a vacant lot.
Okay.
And then we've had other times when it's occurred, but we didn't have, clear jurisdiction to stop it. And then now I think what's happened, the mayor has a great point, because I think now what's happened, the person that was living in the mobile traveler got rid of the traveler, but now he's living in the car in the driveway.
Yeah, we can definitely amend it to capture all vehicles. We can, that's an easy change.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
Yeah.
Ms. McCully, you made the motion with the addition of motor vehicles.
Covering all vehicles.
All
Mo-
motor
yeah.
vehicles.
Well, I'd say all vehicles, because what if a vehicle doesn't have a motor in it?
Yeah, I don't have a motor in it,
Yeah.
sir.
So
I can sleep here.
I
Yeah,
would say all vehicles, and I know the judge will make it right.
he'll figure out a word.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Either the judge or Sarah. So, yeah, one of them will. Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye. There's no
Aye.
discussion.
Aye.
Aye.
Right, great, fantastic. The next item is item D, the
I'm gonna
consideration of
say no, please.
the consideration of the introduction of an amendment to the town's visitor pass requirements on the cost of a replacement. Chief?
Yes, ma'am. So with the replacement cost, again, once you lose that visitor pass, you will have to contact the local police, whether it's Edmonston Police or Prince George's County Police, and advise them that either you lost the pass or it was stolen, and they'll provide you a case number. What that case number will do is show proof that you actually called the police to report that it was either lost or stolen. You would then come up to the Edmonston Town Hall, provide it to Ms. Daria or any police officer, and let them know that you want a replacement. That replacement along with the case number will cost $150 in order to get another replacement. And that's our way of keeping track to make sure that nobody is making copies of these passes and giving them out to people inside the town, whether it be commercial or other residents. Any questions? And it was a mistake on my end last meeting. I know we had the workshop. I said we ordered 500. I actually ordered only 50. So I rushed and had some made. They'll be here this week. I ordered another 100, so we should be good.
Great,
Yeah.
Ms. Tuberville.
I'm wondering if there's a way for us to be able to keep track of the numbers for the visitors passes so that this isn't a well big thought, but basically I'm just wondering if there's a way, like if somebody just does accidentally lose a visitor's pass, $150 seems like really steep to have to get a replacement. Like I know what the intent is behind this, right? Is to deal with like the proliferation of fake visitors passes. But I'm wondering if we could have some way to be able to sort of validate that somebody is not doing that, right? That doesn't result in them having to pay $150 for a new one.
So
If we can
the way we
prove,
keep, Mayor.
I'm just trying to figure out, you're saying somehow or another, if we can prove, okay, we provided them this pass, this is the number, you lost it. So now we can void that one. If we ever see it again, then you have to pay. Is that what?
I mean, maybe that,
Mhm,
maybe that's the way to do it.
mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're keeping track of as of today what the year that we ordered it to pass in, along with a sequence of numbers behind it. And then when they get issued that pass, that number goes along with their address. So it's something that yes, we can take in consideration and try to avoid it out on a forced attempt as long as they provide us with that case number.
Uh,
Would that
I think
be
that's
a problem? No, go ahead, Mayor. I'm sorry.
no, I'm saying I think that's a good idea to have some type of tracking system. But I also think that it's good if your officers could bring it with them, because I don't know that you can really see uh, the dates, and are the officers, oh, maybe that's not what I should say online. But I don't know that you can really see something that would help the officers and also help those who honestly lost their visitors pass. Maybe we should, I do want it to be the fine because of the fraud, the reproduction of it and how people do it. You can say, I lost it, and you just want it for whomever else is in your household. But like Ms. Tuberville is saying, maybe we should put something in place that allows us to be able to say, okay, we're going to give it to you this time because we believe your story, but we're going to void this pass number.
Yes, we can do that.
I
And the
guess I'm,
police officers have to carry that, though. You know what I mean? They have to have something where they can pull it up,
We can do like an Excel spreadsheet. Well, I know that's what Ms. Faison is
or
working on,
Google
the
or something
Excel
like that. Yeah,
spreadsheet. So
Google
she can just
spreadsheet.
share it with the officers, and they can just log into their email and verify that right there on the scene from the in-car computer.
Okay.
Chief,
but if
am
it's
I
not, I'm sorry, Betsy.
okay?
I just,
Go
go
ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was just say, if it's someone that lives in the house, they don't need a visitor's pass because they'll be able to get a parking sticker for the back of their window, as long as their vehicle is registered to that house. I
Didn't
mean,
we? Oh,
visitor pass to me is sort of strictly someone that's coming to visit you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, am I right with that, Chief?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's another thing we've been seeing is when certain houses rent their house out, whether it's for the 6 months or the year long, they're giving their tenants the visitor pass, which is nothing wrong with it. They are visitors, especially when it comes down to the Airbnb. We have long-term rentals who are using the passes instead of getting the parking permit. They're using the visitor passes as well.
And with them getting a sticker, it will prove that they are a resident there and not just renting for 3 months.
but he just said that some of the long-term residents are getting visitors passes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I'm saying but they should only get one visitor's pass because she said if you have a driveway, you
But
get one.
not everybody that's renting has the driveway, which results in them getting two passes too.
And they have to show the rental license too, right?
Yep.
I guess I'm not understanding how this is going to fix the problem of people duplicating the visitors passes.
So it's mainly for us to be able to keep track
Discourage.
of the residential ones. When I first came here at Edmonston, I noticed a lot of businesses on the commercial side had residential visitor passes, which was causing an issue for residents when they would want to come home or have a gathering. And you got
Mhm.
this business car that's been worked on, trashed, or abandoned. It's been sitting there, but because they had that visitor passes, a lot of the officers, include myself, sometimes we would go past it thinking it's a resident's car. And in reality, after we get in 5 or 6 complaints, we're realizing it's not a resident car, it's a junk car from one of the industrial parts of the town, whether it be Buchanan Street, Lafayette, or 46. So this is not only a way to keep the fraudulent stuff down, but it's also meant to keep the industrial area from pushing cars into the town again.
Okay. So, but it still doesn't, but if any of those businesses, just like any resident, right? Like if any of them wanted to duplicate the pass, they could still do that.
So business, they don't have access to the pass. So if you have a business inside Edmonston, you don't get a visitor pass.
Okay. So, but
They're all numbered now.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
my visitor's pass might have number 22. And if they go find two more numbers with 22, they can come back and say, hey, Betsy, how did these people get your visitor's pass? And there's 3 people with that number 22 now.
okay.
So before they weren't numbering the visitor's pass.
So like the ones I just purchased have 24-00 and they start out at 61 because the last
Okay.
one we ordered was 60. So this one to go from 61 to all the way up until I think what 102, something like that.
Okay. So that's the only way that there would be any like dealing with the enforcement issue of people duplicating passes. Right, is for officers to observe that there's a duplicate pass in 2 different cars.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'm just trying to understand then, if somebody loses their pass, and then and comes to you and demonstrates that, right? Like, and says that, and they get a new visitor's pass, and then you subsequently find like an invalid visitor pass number, then wouldn't the thing to do to be to like track down the owner of that vehicle, and then and so we should have an ordinance around fake visitors passes rather than necessarily penalizing people who have honestly just lost a sheet of paper.
So if you're saying if somebody loses their pass, somebody else is fine and use it, we would avoid that. We would place that in a void or invalid status, so they won't be able to use it anymore. They have to get another one. And a person who, because we won't be able to prove that that person who has that permit either stole it or what they probably found it on the ground and decided to use it, or found it on the ground somewhere. So we would have to, in order for us to charge them with something, we would have to show that it's proof that they committed that crime, which a lot of times we can't. So we would just void out that sequence of numbers on that previous pass that was lost, issue the resident that's getting another permit, issue them a new set of numbers, and cancel out the old one. So if an officer sees that, okay, this pass was reported stolen or lost a month ago, this person has it, now this person getting that parking ticket. There's no way that they can say, oh, well, I got a permit, or I can't get charged with this because I got a permit in my window. No, that permit doesn't exist anymore. And if you go to most communities, whether it's apartment complex, whether it's a gated community, it's the same thing. If you lose something, it's a replacement fee, and it's roughly between $100 and $150.
It's just really steep. I feel like. I mean, I get the problem. That I completely agree that we have an issue of like a misuse of the visitor passes. I just
Ms. Serrano, you had some comments as well.
Yeah, I was just,
Thank you,
I
Ms.
do agree
Tuberville.
with Sarah that it feels like a really high fee. And I'm wondering if there's any room for maybe the first offense to be like $30. And then once you lose it again, to make it higher. That's a lot of money. Like, that's how much I pay for my insurance a month.
Somebody has their TV on. So that's a good point. It's made to deter more so than anything, hoping not to have anybody pay that amount. But it is the average amount of a lost visitor's pass. The police could probably tell us, and I see our judge come on, so I know he wants to comment, but our police department could probably give us the number of individuals that say they lost the vehicle. And again, we have a parking problem in our town. So that's part of the reasoning. But I also think that this could be more of a discussion to kind of pinpoint and judge.
Thank you. I've been listening to comments, and I agree that it's steep, but the question is what brought this on to begin with? Why are we making this change? Is it really a problem where people are taking advantage of the system and saying, I've lost this, give me another one, and now that they have two? Okay, if that is really a problem and it's rampant, as the mayor said, it's a deterrent. Okay, it's, but for that poor sap that did in fact lose it, okay, and they have to get another one, then it's $150. So you got to try to thread the needle. I guess the question is, how rampant is this? And is it so rampant that you do have to start off really high? But maybe there may be a way to say, like you said, $30 may be low, okay? But to start off at a first offense, and then the second one, it's really going to be high, like the $150, depending on how rampant this is in the town. And I guess the chief can answer that. But if a lot of it is going on, then it's going to continue unless you really have the hammer that comes down on people when they're doing it.
And so, yes, when I first came here in Edmonston as a compliance officer, it was a huge thing. It became even more rampant as time progressed, where we had, again, the industrial cars parking the customer cars inside the residential part of the town. And even now, we hit complaints every week, every other day, saying, okay, this car is parked on my street. This car, I don't have anywhere to park, especially near La Fondita. I get an email almost every other day saying, oh, these cars are here with no permits. So when we start cracking down on enforcement for it, we realized that people had more than what they needed to as far as visitor passes. Some of those visitor passes didn't even come back to a resident inside the town. And granted, most of if not all the resident passes got to come from the town hall. You could tell somebody went in and paid $5 or whatever they got there from and handwritten on there. Most of the permits that we had back then were handwritten by the agency. So we changed that. I went out and I got a set of sequential numbers, image on there, so that way you can't handwrite on it and voice it out. So my goal for this was to deter the fraudulent activity and to deter the industrial vehicles from parking inside the town, taking up the parking spots, and eventually getting us to where we are today with the vehicles parking complaints in here in town. What I would do is go back and my lieutenant will create a fee structure for each offense and resubmit it for you guys for approval.
I would be supportive of maybe like $60 first time, 150, because I think, I get the deterrent desire, and I don't, so I think at the first offense we have to figure that out. It also seems that with this issue of like duplication, it can be a deterrent to at least have an ordinance that people know about that says this is the penalty for duplication. It might be totally unenforceable
yeah.
for the reasons you described, Chief, right? Which is fine. Like, we'll never actually be able to charge anybody with it or whatever, or fine them for it, because we can never like pinpoint, who did it. But I think the idea of it might be a useful deterrent.
Yes.
Chief, they go out and see these visitors parking with the numbers on it. Will our officers, our code compliance officers, will they look and make sure that that number is still valid every time they go out? And if
Yes.
it isn't, and if we do write up a separate thing for people that do make copies of it, I mean, we'll be able to tell us a copy, but can we somehow or another put that we tow it away? Do you have a
So
Yep.
we can't necessarily tow it away because that vehicle is still registered within any state of the United States. The only time we can tow a vehicle if it's not registered, if its registration is fraudulent, or if it's a moving violation and that person who's operating that vehicle don't have a valid license. But to impound a vehicle for a parking permit is kind of hard.
How about a nice sized ticket for parking in a no parking, a permit parking area?
That's what it would be. It would be the failure to obey the town sign of parking on a permitted street or parking where you're not supposed to park at all.
$250 sounds good.
I think that the
You're
initial ticket right
saying
now is one.
you're saying if we find out that they weren't honest,
Right.
and so could we put something in there that says that it would be, if we find out it's verified that it's double the 150?
Yes.
Yeah, because if we'll be able to tell if they make a duplicate of the parking passes. Because I don't think they're going to have the same material, we should be able to tell. And if they have it, we can't tow it, which is too bad. Maybe they might have a nail in the tire or something like that. It's disabled. Then we could give them a nice size ticket.
Can I ask a question about how would our officers or code be able to look through, see it hanging? Is this a hang tag or is this a sticker?
It's a hang tag for the mirror. So when you approach the vehicle, if it's in the mirror, it will say 2025. I'm sorry, 25 dash whatever the sequence of the numbers is with the town of Edmonston's new green seal on there as well.
So how would you know that that is a duplicate
So if we
without
run
having
that,
it in your hands?
if the officer puts that number in, they can either call town hall and speak to Derry, or it'll be in their email. They can just see the address, what address that car comes back to. So by feel, you won't be able to, without being able to touch it, you won't be able to tell unless you actually, maybe get on a traffic stop or something like that. But each number comes back to that specific address.
So what if you had 2 5s? You had permit 5 at 100 Maple Street. Okay. And you had that one that was validly registered, number 5, permit number 5. And the resident does another one. The resident does it that says 5. But you have the fraudulent one in front of you, and the other one is at work in the car. How would you know that that one is a duplicate? Just
Based
by
off the
looking at
material, based off, if it's in our hand, it's a different feel. It's a
I know,
different
but
material.
it's not in your hand. It's
Oh,
just
so
hanging there because you
if it's
can't
just
go
hanging
in the
there,
car
we'll
and
run
get
the
it.
serial numbers, and if it comes back to the house, the downside of it was if they duplicate the same number, we only give each house a certain amount. Driveways, you get 1. No driveways, you get 2. Now, if you have a driveway and you have 3 passes or 2 passes or 1, we'll be able to tell from that, just off that permits that we got right there. So driveways have 1. I'm sorry, your driveways have 1. No driveway have 2. So that's the way that we kind of can control that as well. Because a lot of people, they don't want to get the parking permit to go in the back of their window. So you may have a resident who has a driveway, but they don't want an actual sticker on the back of their car. So they'll attempt to get the visitor pass and say, "Oh, I live here." Well, you got to have a parking permit, and that's another issue that we came across too, where they don't want the sticker, they want the hanging pass, and so we don't give them a hanging pass. They actually have to get a permit.
I think if we had a resident that made a copy of their parking permit, their hanging one, and they both had the number 5 on it,
Mm-hmm.
and the fake one is in front of the house, and I think Judge says, and the owner is away and has theirs with them. If we can't touch that pass, how are we going to be able to tell whether that's the real one or the fake one?
And without being able to touch it or look at the rear side of it, we won't be able to tell. Because there's language on the back of the rear of it as well. And you won't be able to put 2 and 2 together unless you actually get it from that company.
Miss Coney, you had a comment too.
I just had a question. Chief, right now it's 1 per household, right?
Mm-hmm. As far as for the visitor permit or?
Yes.
So if you have a driveway, it's 1 per household. No driveway, 2 per household.
Okay. If we have a property that has that has, like, let's say it's a registered rental property, let's say someone's renting the basement, is there any way that would be technically 2 different households, right? Is there any way, like, have we thought through of how we would end up giving some renters their own pass?
Well, if you rent at the basement, you still carry that same household address, so you only get the 2 visitor pass. Now, if you're a long-term resident, a long-term rental, meaning you're going to be in that household for almost a year or more, you'll be required to get an actual Edmonston parking permit. The temporary permits are only going to be effective for people that's doing Airbnbs, the short-term rentals, because then you could just transfer those out from vehicle to vehicle.
So I mean more like, for example, our neighbor rents to someone, right? She's lived here for over 2 years now in his house. She obviously has her own parking sticker because she's a resident of Edmonston. I guess my question is more like, if she wanted her own guest pass, how could she get her own guest pass, given that she's not part of the family unit in the house?
She won't be able to get a guest pass. It's 2 for the household. So if she wants to have company come over, she will have to utilize 1 or 2 of those passes.
So that might be a problem, considering a lot of families in our town are renters and aren't part of, like, the family unit of homes.
Could we, if they are a renter, and we can prove that they're a renter and they are paying a rental license, then we give them one, the renter has their sticker, and give them one visitor's pass. But they have to be registered as a rental house. They have to prove with their rental contract. And then they would get,
That's what I was asking. Like, if homes have rental licenses, could the renter get their own pass?
if it's set up 2 households, to me, if the owner is living in the house and then renting out the basement, I think that as long as they are set up as a rental house and had the right permits, I think they should be able to get, the renter should be able to get a pass, you know.
Now, also, what kind of company, like, if they have it, you asking if the renter will have like a get together, or because I would say they can still do the parking waiver where they can actually park if they're not going to be there for more than a day. That's the option as well. So it's still the parking waiver acts as another visitor pass. So they don't have to actually get a visitor pass, the one that hangs. If they get a parking waiver, we still treat that as an actual parking pass. But again, it depends on if they're having company come over for a day or company come over for a week.
I,
Judge?
I think what they're asking is, if you have a valid rental license and you're renting, can that renter be treated the same as the owner for purposes of parking, have the same parking rights
Yes.
as the owner?
Yes.
So they will be able to get a separate allotment of a parking.
Once we could, like Ms. McCulley said, once we have confirmation proof that they actually have a legit rental license here in the town of Edmonston, yes.
So they will be like a little separate house on their own, and they would have all the same rights as the owner, the lessor who's leasing the property to them.
Mm-hmm.
Does that answer your questions?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's what okay. That sounds good.
Good question. But actually, if I am renting, I should, and I want the benefits of the town, I should register my license under the place that I live within a certain amount of time. And if I can prove that I am a resident there by my driver's license, I should be able to get a pass just like the owner.
And your
Because,
car is also registered in the town of
right,
Edmonston.
right. Then I should be able to have the same benefits as the owner. And that would alleviate a whole bunch of visitor passes for people who are renting. The renter, no matter where you rent, in most cases will change their license and registration. Some may not for whatever reasons, but the majority should, and that's what I think we should encourage, so that we can provide them owners' privileges.
Well, and if they don't, then they don't get a parking sticker. And if they don't have a rental contract with the owner, then they don't get a visitor's pass.
Right.
I could adjust it.
So
we make some adjustments, definitely.
So I think this is a great discussion, and I think that maybe this should go back for some more tweaking. I don't think anyone is against the fee in a sense, but at a certain tier. And then also we need to make sure we include those who are renting. So there are some things that we need to do a little bit more. And so maybe we can bring this back. So I guess we can table it and do some tweaking and bring it back.
To help them in their tweaking, are we going to say first time they lose their pass, it's $50, second time $150?
Well, I would encourage your comment. you can send the email into the chief, Rod, and just give your comments on it. And then I think we can come back and work it during a work session. Bring it back next month and during
And
the
I'll
work
put my
session,
email
and
in
we
the
can
chat
work
as
through
well.
it. How's that?
Chief, I didn't hear what you said.
No, I was gonna put my email for them to submit any comments. They can send it
okay.
to my email. I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah. And then we could work everything together, get the comments and everything, work it together, and then we can work it out during our work session next month. How's that?
I'll remove my
Sounds
motion.
Um,
Because I made a motion, so I will
Mhm.
now.
well,
It
we
was
can second and let it die.
okay.
Is there a second?
It's dead on
All
arrival.
right. uh, motion fails. And then we can, you can make a motion to table to do more adjusting to this ordinance amendment. Ms. McCulley.
I'll make a motion that we table this ordinance at this time for adjustments to it.
Okay,
Second.
thank you.
Second.
All right. All motion by Ms. McCulley, second by Ms. Tuberville. Any further discussion? All right. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 All right. I want to go back to Ms. Coney. She just went off camera, but she indicated in the chat that she was a no, and I did not acknowledge that. And I also didn't open it for discussion after the motion was made. So I just want to go back to any comment that you might have that would express how you were feeling about this mobile home or the living in a mobile home travel vehicle or whichever.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. I think sometimes policy that criminalizes homelessness might be counter-effective. That's all. I mean, I understand the sentiment behind it, but that was my reason for my no. Thank you.
Very good point. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, I had a feeling similar to that as well. Until it was explained to me, I do have feelings about that. So thank you. Thank you for your comment. And as we go on, and Mr. Barnes did note that he put a no in there for Miss Coney. The next item is E, the consideration of appointment of Mayor Tracy Gant and an at-large Edmonston resident as a board member to our newly formed BCCE, Port Towns Collaborative. Mr. Barnes is off. I don't even know. Oh, he's off camera. Oh, okay. Do you want to expound on that?
Sure. So we're excited. Judge Deloach did a lot of the work to get us to this point, and all of the
Yes.
port towns communities work together to form our new CDC essentially, but we use this name after selection process because we did not want to be tied to the old CDC. And I think Councilmember Turberville asked to see the bylaws on the new one being formed, and they have not been put in draft form totally yet. So I will, as soon as they come out, I will get those to you. Apologize, I thought they were already ready to go. And so we asked for people to submit names. The towns, as they were developing this, thought it was appropriate for a council member at least to be the mayor, or a council member to be on the board. So 4 positions were reserved for the elected officials, and then 1 at-large position for each community, and then 1 jointly appointed at-large position for all 4 towns to come to agreement on somebody. We ask that you submit names. Councilmember Turberville submitted a local resident, Renuka Shemaneman, and she lives at 51st and Decatur corner. She and her husband, who is a doctor, and their little boy are seen all over the community walking. They have a little dog. They're really great folks. Renuka has a background in economics, and she works for the Federal Reserve. So Mayor Gant and I had the opportunity to visit with her, and she is very excited and is agreeable if you all are interested in appointing her.
I think she would be awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sarah.
Yes, it was a good choice. Thank you, Ms. Turberville.
I think, for the record, I think she'd be
Yeah, she does have a cute dog. I met the
Yeah,
doggy.
her dog is
Yeah.
real cute.
Yeah, I met the
although,
dog.
you know, keep your distance. He's cute, but
Yeah, she did
He-
come up barking.
I think
Okay.
he only likes the family. I don't
Yeah.
think he's really a fan
Okay.
of anyone else.
He does not like me, for sure.
And she knows it
Don't take it
too.
personally, Rod.
She held the dog back when
Yeah, no, I think that she'd be wonderful for
Yeah.
to really help, I think, get this new entity
Yeah.
on its feet with everybody else. So I'm glad folks are enthusiastic.
Yeah. I also think that with the bylaws, we probably would be able to say that old bylaws, I don't know that they will change drastically, but given that we're new, there may be some adjustments to the bylaws as we go along. Not like, there'll be a bylaws review, I'm sure, and we might make some adjustments. So having the old ones is good. And if you have any suggestions, of course, knowing that you were on the board, that would be great as well.
So do we need a motion?
Yeah.
I move that we appoint the mayor and Renuka to hold on, sorry. I just want to make sure I properly pronounce her last name. Renuka Lakshmanan as our representatives to the new Port Towns Collaborative.
I'll second it.
Wonderful. All right. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Excellent. The mayors are on it because it's the new startup. And we just want to make sure that we are part of it and it goes along smoothly. Our town administrators worked really hard and collaborated so well together. And Mr. Barnes, of course, did a huge, he really brought it together for us. He and Michelle from Bladensburg, they work well together, and they were part of really making it happen. Besides our Judge Deloach, who tweaked and did his part, and we greatly appreciate it. So Edmonston did the darn thing. So I'm glad it happened. It was a lot. And thank you, Ms. Turberville, for your part that you played in being a board member there and helping us to see it through to this point. I'm impressed with, I don't know if I said this last time we met, but I'm impressed with the Port Towns, how we came together and worked this out because it was a lot to work out. It was really a lot of confusion, a lot of misunderstanding and not understanding. And then we got to a point of, come on, let's move on. and make this happen. And it wasn't the misunderstanding on our part. It was, we didn't know what was going on with the previous Port Town CDC. So thank you, Mr. Barnes, for making sure that the town administrators are all together and working for us. Okay, and thank you, council, for approving that. The next item is F, the consideration of adding a speed bump at 4921 49th Avenue, and that's requested by Jana Elson. We talked about it a little bit during our work session, and
I think what the
I
work
think I'll
session you
leave it to Mr.
suggested that we
Barnes.
take a letter to the residents on 49 to give them an opportunity to provide feedback before we do that, and then also to develop a policy. I think our policy in the past has always been to do these by petition, but it isn't a necessarily written policy. So I'll draft that up for future council meeting so that that's clear that when we have these
Fairness.
requests for speed bumps or changes to streets, that it's being done by petition so that everyone is in favor of the project.
I will accept a motion of adding a speed bump to 49th Avenue in front of 4921.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All right, thank you, Ms. McCully and Ms. Serrano. Any discussion? All right, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Hi.
All right, that motion passes. Thank you, Ms. Jana. Jana, appreciate that. It's a good picture. All right, the next item is the resignation of our council member, Ms. Coney Serrano. And it's effective November the 30th, 2025. Miss Coney.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, I think some of you heard my speech last during our work session, but I am leaving the state of Maryland. My fiance and I are moving to the city of Chicago, which is the only reason why I'm stepping down. It's bittersweet, but I really am so grateful for all the residents who put a lot of faith in me to represent them, and for all my colleagues who have been wonderful. We have done a lot of great work together. We have disagreed on a lot, but continued to move forward. And I have really appreciated the space and working together with you all. And I'll still be around. My parents will still be here in Edmonston, so I'll be an avid visitor of the town. So
That's
thank
good.
you.
That's good. Thank you, Ms. Serrano. Any comments from the council?
Oh,
I
we're
know
gonna
this is
we're gonna
not
save
usual.
it for the November meeting. We're gonna send her out with a bang.
Yeah, I think so. But thank you so much for, just thus far, what you've done and being a part of the council and hanging in there with us until November. We appreciate that. And congratulations to you on your engagement and your move to Chicago, big time. So
Thank you.
thank you.
I'm gonna save my comments for November. So Coney, you'll be on
Yeah,
October meeting and November meeting?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, we generally have a November meeting.
And
I'm not saying that to be smart or anything. I was thinking about the holidays.
no, yeah, we usually meet in November.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also am curious. So, what is the appointment process for your vacancy?
And that's exactly what it is.
'Cause-
At this point, if she's leaving in November, what is that, 90 days, Mr. Barnes, or
120.
6 months,
Mm-hmm.
120 days,
Mhm.
that means that we can appoint someone as opposed to not having an election, a special election for it, which is great.
What's the
Perfect
process
timing.
for the appointment?
We are establishing a process now, but usually it's an interview by the council. So we are, and you can cut in Mr. Barnes, we are establishing an application process so we know who is interested and why they might be interested in the town running for office, and it will be fair. So I know when I was first appointed, it was just a matter of me sitting in front of the council and them asking me questions. So if we make it fair, as much as we can, it's an application process where all the questions are the same.
Mhm.
You know, you're filling out the application, get your information, all the questions are the same. Mr. Barnes will have a draft and you can look at it to see if we need to add or take away. He turned his head to the side like, really?
No, I was looking, a car went by.
Oh, okay. Well, we can add, or if you want us to take away something, but we both feel that it's important to have the same information, give out the same information to everyone who might be interested in it. So we can bring them before us and then we can do the interview as a council.
Who
We get to
decides?
choose. I'm sorry.
So who decides? It's like a vote.
You want to know if I'm
like
the
within
final? You want to know if I'm
I
the
want to know
final?
the process. I don't have bylaws. I don't have the
We decide. We
town.
decide as a council. Not me.
The mayor
I
and
don't. I
council
don't have the
all in
final.
one.
I don't have the final say.
Okay.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to understand is if this is a vote of like we would vote on an ordinance where the mayor is a tiebreaker, or does the mayor's vote count as part of the, is it different because the mayor's vote counts as part of the full total? Okay.
Judge.
Yeah, it's a majority vote of the council.
Okay.
So does that mean it includes me?
I'm looking at it now. I think it includes you, Mayor.
No.
I'm going to read it to you. It says, but less than 180 days before any regular scheduled election shall be filled by appointment of the mayor and council by majority vote within 30 days of the vacancy.
Okay. Got it. So it is different than how we would vote on the ordinance.
It's how we vote on the hiring of staff. Okay.
And it happens with the vacancy of, so Coney would not vote on who her replacement is.
I believe she would because she's on the council.
She doesn't have a
If
conflict of
she's
interest.
not going to be here.
Yeah, there's no
Understand, but-
conflict of interest because she's voting. She's not being forced out.
Correct.
She's resigning, and there's no conflict of interest because she won't have any real skin in the game once the vote takes place. So there's no way that she can profit from it or have any advantage.
Right.
But it's a good question.
But if she resigns on the 30th and we don't vote until December,
Good, Troy. That's a
then-
very good point.
then she's already, sorry, Coney.
That's a very good point. Yes. Because you have to do it within 30 days of the vacancy.
Right.
Okay, so the vacancy has to occur, so she can no longer be in her, so she would not be a voting participant. Okay.
Yep.
But thank you all for indulging me on that. Coney, I did not mean to go straight past your departure and onto like who's going to be sitting in your seat next. I just thought it would be helpful for us all to be on the same page.
No.
No worries. That's important to know.
I don't think we'll have any major issues.
Well, actually, the timeline that I proposed to the mayor was the applications and notification will go out next week. Once you all have signed off on the application, and then they would be due back in by October 15th. Then you would interview the end of October, and you would actually select the person in November's meeting so that they could start in December, December's meeting, be sworn in.
Okay.
I'm just
Not-
wondering if that works.
not to
if we don't
delay
have a
it.
vacancy yet, because
Not to delay it past November 30th and then not have it person at December and then swear them in at January. Trying not to delay it.
So it sounds like we might need a special meeting in December to swear the person in because,
Well, I mean, we have a council meeting scheduled, but as
Okay.
the mayor said, we sometimes, if we don't have business, don't have that meeting. But obviously, if we know we're going to have that, then we could have a meeting. But certainly,
Well,
It's up-
first, somebody's got to apply for it first.
Yep, they sure do.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Any more questions pertaining to that? Oh, I think we're good with that. Thank you. Police chief.
Oh, wait a minute. You forgot we have H.
Oh, huh?
the speed
H.
bump on Crittenden.
I don't think you get the new updated agenda.
No, the speed bump on Crittenden, Mayor.
Right, that. I'm not looking at the updated one. I'm sorry. I thought I did pull it up, but it's not there. Thank you, Ms. McCully. Crittenden speed hump. I don't know what it says because I'm not on it.
Oh, the consideration of petition request from the residents in the 5,000 block of Crittenden Street for a speed bump at 5002 Crittenden.
Any discussion on that?
And we have,
Okay.
I was gonna say, and they turned in a thing. They had what, 5 out of the 7 residents.
Yes.
Yeah. So I saw the request and I'm all for speed humps slowing down and safety of our children. I'd like the council to think about speed humps and going towards the farm and the playground. There is a certain speed that when you do a certain speed, then yes, a speed hump is a good thing. But I know that some residents will turn, not residents, those who are not trying to go down that one-way street, they see that one-way street and then they say, oh, well, let me go down this way. And they may go down there at a higher speed. But in most cases, they're not going higher than 15 or 20, which of course, if you hit a child, that's detrimental. But I was hoping that we would consider putting signs up because I asked Mr. Barnes, do we have signs that says no outlet? And then he said, what about a no outlet sign plus a sign with lights on it that says no outlet that would indicate, you can't go this way. So that we could, we don't necessarily have to put up a speed hump. Because it would almost seem, if you put the speed hump up, it's like you're going to go further somewhere unless you're going out and there's the speed hump to slow you down before the stop sign. But that's not the problem. It's coming into Crittenden towards the farm. Michelle, were you getting ready to say something? You're muted though. So I was thinking that maybe we could consider the sign first, good signage that says no outlet, see if there's any change, and then come back to consider the speed hump because I'm hoping that no outlet that's, illuminated, even an illuminated sign for in the evening as well as the lights might help. Michelle, I'm going to let you go ahead and give your comment.
I think we can definitely try that. As a first step. I just hope that it's not the residents who are speeding in, to go in. So I mean, we can try that
Yeah.
out. And I mean, if I walk down that street every single day, so I guess I'll let you guys know.
No, right, yeah.
If it's working, if I see a change, if we really do need like a speed bump or something of that form.
And Mr. Barnes also mentioned like children at play,
Mhm.
that kind of thing, to
I think that'd be great too.
farm or something, playground, something that would make people aware in a sense.
There is
Not
a
have 20 signs, of course.
Of
We're not
course.
going to have 20 signs.
there is a dead end sign right now as you make head down that street. So I think that is poorly done. And so, like the mayor says, if we change that even to no outlet, put flashing solar lights there, and then add a children playing sign
Make it kind
too.
of bold. Yeah.
That might could be a change that would help. I know that probably people go down there and they get frustrated when it's not an outlet, and then they
Turn around.
zoom back out and like in a hurry. So I get what they're concerned on. We were over there the other night when the little children were walking and pushing their little bike or their little trike or whatever in the street. So because of that playground there, it is kind of an interesting situation.
Yeah, that would be my biggest concern. Like Rod said, like kids are constantly on their bikes there in that, in that area.
Yeah.
And that's why, when I was talking to my neighbors there about the speed bump, like I instantly agreed because there's a lot of kids that use that space, like that farm parking lot when it's empty as like, a little area for their bikes.
Okay, thank you. So let's do that, and we can go from there. Thank you so much for bringing that to our attention. All right, now we can go to the chief.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. This is the police department report for July and August. So for the month of July, we had 2 burglaries that we reported, 3 auto thefts, 1 theft, and 2 theft from autos. In the month of August, we had 1 assault, 1 theft, and 1 theft from auto. For the proactive side of the town, in July, we had 2 parking citations, 47 movement violations, 4 traffic arrests, 1 criminal arrest, 49 premise checks, 12 traffic stops, and answered 144 calls for service. And then in August, we had 102 parking citations issued, 31 movement violations. No traffic arrest was made, 1 criminal arrest was made, 71 premise checks, and 93 calls for service were answered for the month of August. Any questions before I move on to the next thing for the report? I am in the process of bringing on 2 reserve officers for the town of Edmonston. What the reserve officer program is, we don't pay them a paycheck. It's like a volunteer firefighter service. They do a set minimum of set of hours every month. And the goal for this is not only increase our visibility and staffing here in town, but also to assist with community events. A lot of times people say, well, why would you want to volunteer police officer? These are just individuals who want to be the police, but they don't want to leave their nice jobs, whether it's a retirement, whether it's benefits, and they still want to come out and serve their community. Right now, I'm in the background process of bringing over 2 more officers on a reserve status to help backfill patrol. We are still waiting for our recruit to graduate, which is recruit Johnson. He'll be graduating October 24th from the Prince George's Community College Academy. Once he gets on board, he's still got to do the 400 hours of training with not only Officer Edelin, but also Lieutenant Martin. And so our goal is to bring on the reserve officers hopefully within October or November once we finish the process on with them. Any questions on the reserve officer program?
I
Yes,
have a
Mr.
question, Chief. You tired of hearing from me yet? So these are retired officers, or they're individuals who have been licensed police officers.
So the ones that I'm backgrounding right now, they have been police officers before. Some are police officers outside the state of Maryland who want to stay where they're at. And then other ones were prior police officers that retired, but have many years of experience. So the way the reserve program works, the Metropolitan Police Department, half their staffing is reserve officers, whether it's somebody that could be a banker, a social worker, a doctor, a firefighter. They're all a part of the Metropolitan Police Department reserve program. However, the Metropolitan Police do have their own academy where they get trained and get all these individuals certified. On our end, we're just looking for people that's already Maryland certified or have some type of police certification to make it easier for us to transition them through.
And they would have left their job in good standing.
Yes.
The police
So
officer.
the two people that I'm interviewing, one is currently still with their current agency, another one resigned from their current agency and now works within the Prince George's County government.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. And so the goal is for us to sell the two vehicles that we have you guys approved for us to sell, was the two Explorers. We came up on a deal from the town of Morningside. We would like to purchase their old Taurus, which is a 2017, for $2,000. And what we'll do is the money that we get from the selling of the surplus of our two Explorers, we'll put that $2,000 back into the budget. At least that way the reserve officers will have a reliable vehicle to drive up and down to respond to calls here in town with. So we'll still have a somewhat okay fleet, but the two vehicles that we have right now, one again has a transmission issue, and the other one, none of the emergency equipment work. So I think this would be a good idea for us to take the car that Morningside is selling, just to put the reserves in, and then again, all full-time Edmonston officers will be in marked patrol cars. And any objections to that I know of? And lastly, don't forget to join us on October 31st for our trunk or treat, which is also our national night out. We're going to be decorating cars and giving out candy. Fountain Park has already agreed to decorate a car. I have one more business in town that would like to donate candy. And if they do so, we'll go ahead and give them a police car as well to decorate. We're trying to decorate at least the entire fleet with the 7 police cars for this event. We are also giving out hot dogs and food like that, food and things like that. We'll also try to have some type of food truck just in case people want to not eat the hot dogs, anything like that. And that's all I have. And it's going to be from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Right. All right. Is that, you have anything else, Chief?
No, ma'am.
All right, fantastic. Mr. Barnes?
I don't have a lot tonight, Mayor. The main thing is the staff is working hard, the team's working hard on the Unity Rally. And the workshop that is coming up on September 20. The workshop is from 2 to 5, and it's here at the town hall. It's for young people, middle school to high school.
Middle-aged young
Yeah,
people.
that'd be good, huh? Middle school to high school, and the mayor has put together an amazing agenda to talk about dating and drugs and all kinds of wonderful things. She's got great speakers, so we haven't got a lot of people signed up yet, so please encourage that. We're going to the bus stops tomorrow. Jamilith and Avery went to homes yesterday with personal letters from Mayor Gant on the workshop. So we do have a great lineup for the rally. We have many vendors. We have a lot of we have the hot dog wagon's going to be there. We have games. We have lots of resources, organizations. We have yoga. We have our our resident DJ Darius putting together a playlist for us to have music, and we have a special commemorative handkerchiefs for everyone. Instead of candles, we'll be waving our handkerchiefs and our glow in the dark bracelets as we join hands on the bridge. So coming together, lots of things. But if you have somebody or you know somebody that could participate in the workshop, if they do get community or service hours for that, and so please let them know. And there's a QR code. If you go on the website, Facebook, Fire has it on it, so you can easily
Service hours.
Sign up. Yes, thank you, Mayor. Had a brain work there for a minute. Service hours for that, and anything I'm forgetting, Mayor?
No, that's good. We're going to do domestic violence and dating, especially with young children. I'm sorry, high schoolers. We're doing knowing your rights, your 4th, 5th, and 6th Amendment, what to do if you're stopped by a police officer, and information on drugs such as fentanyl and the impact. And then also just a small portion would be on who you hang with. And if you get stopped, could you go to jail? So very good. And of course, icebreakers and some fun. So we have a very good instructor, and hopefully we get some youth to register. So if you come across any youth, or if you know any youth that you have in your neighborhood there, tell them to scan that QR code so we can prepare for them properly. That's it. A lot of times people just show up, but we want to be able to properly prepare. All right. Thank you. Council? Coney? Miss Serrano?
Just that, we're starting Hispanic Heritage Month in 5 days. I know there's multiple reasons
It's
why.
at the 15th,
Yes,
right?
there's many reasons why, not just in Maryland, but across the country, there won't be a whole lot of celebrating. But
Absolutely.
now more than ever, it's important that we acknowledge and celebrate heritage and legacy and just pioneers. And so I hope everyone finds a way to find some celebration, some type of way of celebrating and acknowledging the month. Thanks, Mayor.
Thank you. Miss McCully?
Oh, Chief. My tree lady.
We're having now.
Well, no, I'm just had with the insurance company. I'm still waiting to tell them what actions we've taken as a town
I'll be
on
back in
her.
office on Friday. Remind me on Friday.
Okay, because I can't do anything with the insurance because we do something as a town since she
Okay.
did break the laws.
I got you. I'll be in the office.
Thank
Okay.
you. Miss Turberville, I think she
She
signed off.
left. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, Miss Coney, I'm wondering what we could do. I guess, do you think it's appropriate to do anything? Do you have any ideas? And you don't have to say it tonight as to what we can do, but I know a lot of our residents I know a lot of people are fearful to even come out or do anything extra.
Yeah, I agree. I think for the safety of everyone, maybe not something so public. I'll
Yeah.
think on it and maybe send some suggestions on something we can do, maybe virtual or include in our newsletters to celebrate.
Yeah. Today I had an opportunity to
Buddy.
I had they actually came to my job, and it's the worst feeling in the world not to be able to do anything. So, I don't, you know, I couldn't do anything. So I had never been a part of that. And I'm sure they've never been a part of that. So I don't know. It was actually people that were working for me as a contractor, and they went to go and get extra supplies outside and were gone. Didn't show up. All we had was, their equipment that they had in the apartments. And so it is the worst. And having to be able to report, and then, the process that we have to go through with our legal team and everything. And it's just the worst thing in the world. And then to talk to the other business owners who have workers that don't want to work in certain areas, such as DC mainly, and feel I mean, yeah. So I'd really like to know if you have any suggestions as to what we could do. It may not be that individuals come out to any celebration or anything, but I don't know, maybe it's something that we can give.
Tracy and Coney, you can answer this. I've seen some other areas that are doing some workshops online on the do's and don'ts, and also the steps on turning and becoming a citizen of the U.S.
Mhm.
I had no idea where to start from point A to get them down to Z. But is that something maybe we can look into to do a online Zoom of do's and don'ts, what rights you have, you don't have, but also how to start the paperwork to become a citizen? Something to think about. You don't have to answer now. I'm just trying to, throw something out there.
No, she probably,
There's a
Miss
lot of,
Coney can
yeah,
do.
there's a lot of nonprofits that are doing that work virtually. I can reach out and see if they can partner us with us so we can do something.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. The thing is, our company prepared us as to what we should do if something like this should happen. But the way this happened wasn't the way we were prepared to do it. So, and then when you have certain people that come to your property continuously, they're not my hire, but they are contractors that normally come. And so when that happens, it's it's like a family member that was kidnapped or something. That's what I felt like. Okay, so all right, I asked everyone if they had a comment. I don't have anything else. And Coney, if you could help us out in that area. Um, I'm sorry, Judge, did you have any comments, or Miss Avery, in reference to the hands across the bridge?
I don't have anything extra to add tonight.
I don't have anything to add, Mayor. I'm just sorry that you had to go through what you went through today. We're seeing it on TV, we're reading
Yeah,
about it, and to experience that, I can't imagine what you were going through. So it's a problem that a lot of smart people need to get together to try to solve.
yes, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Thank you. If there's nothing else, I'll accept the motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Ms.
Second.
I'll
McNeely.
second.
All right, Mr. Johnson. Okay, well, good night, everybody. We will talk soon. And I'll see you on the 20th.
Good night.